Hi everyone, this is Marco from bn-games.com. We're here doing another classic capture. Today we're doing Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Super Nintendo.
Yes, and I should also mention there is a Sega Genesis version of this game, which visually is pretty close, but the Super Nintendo had a superior sound chip, making this the better game.
And the music in this is really good, but we'll get to that in a second. So what's the premise behind this game, Bobby?
Well, Mode 7 for the first part.
Just a bunch of built-up. Oh wait, check out this crazy text effect!
And then the spinning in the background.
Looks like that reminds me of the Dreamcast.
A little bit. So basically, premise is one of you is a guy with bad hair, and one of you is a girl
with a hat.
With a hat. Pippi Longstocking. That's about this time.
Yeah.
Approximately.
Well, I want to know is how that guy's eyes aren't fucked up from wearing those 3D glasses all the time.
Bart Simpson.
Oh, yes.
That's all I'm going to say. And you're going around trying to save your neighbors as the world is being consumed and everything else by zombies and other monsters. This game is a parody in some ways of a lot of horror films, B horror films, classic monster archetypes. You go around with a squirt gun shooting things, and you eventually get different types of weapons, which are all kid-friendly, like soda cans act as grenades. And
I don't know.
I don't know if a cannon is kid-friendly.
I don't know if a cannon or
it's a potato cannon, so it's kid-friendly.
That didn't look like a potato. That looked like a bullet.
The lawnmower that he takes to people's faces. I don't know.
The 90s was a different time, and what was acceptable as kid-friendly is different than it is today.
I will not deny that, but
the first level's done already.
Wow,
it's pretty quick. It can be fairly challenging as time goes on. There's like 50 levels.
No,
like that.
There's more than that.
So, 50
there's
plus.
upwards of 50 levels.
Yeah. And they you get different. It does the Paperboy thing where the harder enemy types show up, and then you see more of them as time goes on.
It introduces you to the enemies.
So there's an old lady with a newspaper.
There might as well be.
Probably sure is.
What about the tornado?
That would. Oh, actually, that would be the chainsaw guy because he spins like a tornado. Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. I guess that's what he's referencing.
So as you can see here, we're playing two-player mode because this
co-op
game has co-op, which is actually really good.
Yep.
You're kind of limited by the fact that you can only run within the square you can see, but most games have to.
Yep.
Just the way it works. I am playing as Blondie, and Bobby's looking fabulous.
Yes, hey.
Yeah, I will say this. When I played it, the D-pad, I mean, it's really responsive.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually get it to kind of do that, full circle in place thing really easily.
The thing that makes the game challenging is the enemies are as fast as you are practically, and once they get on your tail, it's not like you can run away and turn around and shoot very easily. A lot of times you find yourself running away for longer periods of time.
I just like how they usually spawn like maybe within 2 squares of you, and they're able to almost always hit you.
Well, if you would not stand still here. There's no reason to stand still.
No, I'm talking about like if you're walking forward down that corridor, one will just pop in the square, like maybe one and one up.
Not always, but yeah, it is
no,
definitely
well,
a possibility.
not this level, but the level I played, it was like that, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just a little unfair.
So every level has roughly 10 neighbors that you have to save, and they're always the same sprites. You'll notice here in a second that you each have a little radar that gives you, I guess, what would you say, maybe 20-25 square radius?
Yeah.
Like a maybe 20-25 square radius of how close they are to you, and then you use that to pinpoint where they are. But it's not quite that simple because of the fact that a lot of the times they'll be locked behind doors, or it'll be kind of like a maze where you have to go on one side to get them out. And sometimes it'll even spawn zombies or other enemy types within them. And if you don't get to them first and save them, they will actually die, and you actually see them become angels. So it's a little grotesque in that way, but it's cartoon death, so it's not that bad.
From what I understand, because it didn't happen to us, but if you have to at least save one neighbor per level in order to continue. If all the neighbors are killed, it's game over.
What I really want to know is why is this when like zombies are eating people? Why are they trying to save people? Why aren't they just running for their lives.
Doesn't really explain that. Doesn't really give you a lot of context. It's just supposed to be like a parody movie, kind of like, you know, you go and you try and save as many people as you can because you're afraid.
Well, the better question is, why is he trying to see everything in 3D when his eyes automatically...
Because man, he's a movie buff.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, this is back when 3D movies were.
Look at the character.
The book was better.
I'll say, look at the character you're playing. You know, you're playing in End of the World, but I gotta look fabulous.
Hey, he does look
but
fabulous.
See, women have to look fabulous all the time.
That's true.
And why is it you're at a store and you're not stealing supplies? I mean, fuck. Did we not learn anything from season 1?
You can see here we have a new enemy archetype, Killer Baby. Although I think it's supposed to be a doll. At least that's what
I think it's more like Chucky.
Yeah, that's why, like a doll.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
It looks like the fucking doll from You Don't Know Jack, just with an axe in his hand.
The little puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So as you can see, every level has a unique name, and they'll introduce different enemies. Like
insert random horror title here.
Basically,
that's basically what it is.
And you do have some repeating backgrounds, although it changes them up enough to where you can't memorize it really.
Yeah, every level is different.
This particular one's actually kinda hard because of these chainsaw guys who will spawn randomly, and they can actually bust through the walls, which, for example, here you see that he cornered me.
I think part of that, it might even be necessary in it because, you know, to bust through.
There's he just killed.
Yeah.
I'll say because it might bust through, so you can actually.
Well, we can too. One of the things I didn't really mention is we do have different weapon types. We also have power-up pickups that you get throughout the map. For example, there are health pickups. There are potion pickups that can actually turn you into a monster, and it doesn't really explain why. It just, you know, it's to balance out the mechanics. When he drinks, or when either two of them drink the potion, they turn into this purple. What does that look like to you? Werewolf?
No, it's just a monster.
Like a gargoyle, maybe.
Yeah. It's very generic.
No, I think it does look like a gargoyle.
Yeah, like a gargoyle kind of type monster.
I would say ghoul more.
Well, ghoul.
Whatever it
Ghoul
may
and a
be.
gargoyle.
You can see that he's actually given the ability to punch through top and bottom blocks, not side blocks. But that at least helps carve out a path. There are some paths that are dead ends, obviously. That's just the way the game is designed to make you feel tense. For example, there you had to have either done that or had one of the chainsaw guys come and did it for you.
Rocket launcher would have worked too.
Yeah, that, or if you were out, the chainsaw guy would have killed him. So that's just kind of the way it balances out. You have different weapon types that work differently on different types. For example, the see Bobby uses speed.
Boost.
The grass mower works really well on the grass people, the grass aliens that we run into in maybe a level or two. But it also works really well against the mummies, which makes sense because they're all made out of dust.
So, Zombies Ate My Neighbors is more popular in the SNES than it is Genesis. The Genesis version will run you about $10 or so. The SNES version, being a cult classic, will run anywhere from $17 to $25 approximately. That's not including the box manual. It does cover that kind of stuff. Complete, you're looking at $35 to $50, depending on the condition. Would I recommend paying that much? Well, it all depends on how much you play your SNES. If you're a collector,
and whether you have someone to play it.
I don't think I want to play this by myself.
I don't think this game is as fun with one person.
Yeah, you need that second person looking at the map, and then you need someone to cover you. And you can play it by yourself, but it's not. It's one of those games where I think you need a second person for it to really be effective.
Yeah, I tried playing it a bit by myself, and I didn't get as far as we did together here.
And like I said, do you consider it worth it? Well, like I said, it's a value choice. It comes down to if you're a collector, and if you're a SNES collector, then yeah, definitely, I would say.
Should also mention that this actually did get a sequel.
Yes, it did get a sequel, a spiritual sequel. It's not an official sequel. which is more expensive, but practically the same thing for the most part.
Oh, slightly better graphics.
Yeah, slightly better visually, but this is the one that most people know, and I didn't play this a lot as a kid. I rented it. I never owned it until recently, so... Yeah, that's Zombies Ate
My Neighbors,
and that's the premise, and that's some... as far as gameplay, what we're showing you is pretty much what you do for most of the game, except for, you know, fighting bosses and that kind of thing later. Anyway, please subscribe and let us know what you think. Thank you.